This truck has an add-on of $33,000. GM just reported their earnings, and what's potentially the biggest headwind that GM is about to face is their union contract. It is actually coming due this September. I actually see something that's pretty cheap, and I'm impressed that they have it on their lot. I can't believe this. Dealers are hiding trucks. Just kidding. Salesperson told me that there's a separate lot over here. I just came back here and looked at it. All right, so this is not a video about Ram, but check this out. Ram trucks, Ram trucks, Ram trucks, Ram trucks, Ram trucks, Ram trucks. Oh, but we're not finished yet. So I'm at a Chevy dealership right now because GM just reported their earnings, and it was a massive beat, and they raised guidance. The stock market, Wall Street, usually loves this, but the stock sold off. Why is that? It's because investors are seeing through these numbers and seeing that there are a lot of headwinds that GM is going to have to overcome to actually continue to produce good numbers. All right, so here is your Black Widow package in this Z71. There you go. And to get this, you add on $31,399. You're getting your $995 of Smart Shield, 10-year protection, and low jack, which is $699. But you're paying $31,000. That's most of it right there. It's going to be your lift, your tires, your wheels. I don't know if that's worth $31,000. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Tell me in the comments if it's worth that. You saw what the lift looked like. So one of the big things that I think investors picked up on is that even though there have been tons and tons of cost cuts that have gone through GM to help them meet this profitability, these margins that they've been able to get, they announced that they're even going to be doing more cost cutting. And I don't know about you, but when I hear cost cut from a company, that doesn't scream success. That doesn't scream that their products are in high demand. That says that, hey, we got to find some way to make some money somewhere else, and the way that they got to do it is actually bring up their margin by cutting costs to produce their product. All right, so let's check out a few of these trucks while we're here too, get you some prices. This is a Z71. And this is a 2023 Silverado 4-wheel drive. It's a Trail Boss. So, I mean, this dealership still has tons and tons of add-ons. Don't pay add-ons. The market's coming down. They're loading back up with inventory. You don't have to pay add-ons anymore. Nitrogen, I hate nitrogen, 200 bucks. Splash guards, 200 bucks. Rear splash guards, 200 bucks. So check all this out. Boom, all of it. And then there's your price. So it's $69,000 for this truck here. That's after all your add-ons. And that's another problem with GM, Ford, Stellantis is, especially in GM's case, their average transaction price is somewhere around $52,000. They're abandoning the average truck buyer at this point. You know what? That doesn't even exist anymore, because now trucks, they're bringing luxury money, and that's what you have to pay if you're going to buy a truck. No longer can the average working American that wants to buy a truck for some kind of work, that they can't do it anymore, because the average price is $52,000. They can't do it anymore. All right, here we go. Here's a 2023 Silverado 1500 ZR2 4-wheel drive package. I'm not gonna go through it again. You got a bunch of crap add-ons, but your MSRP on this is $76,000, and then you have a total vehicle price after all their add-ons of $81,000. It's a sweet truck, but $81,000, still, that's crazy money for a truck, crazy money. One thing I will say about GM that they've done well, it's not good for the consumer, but it's good for their business, is they've actually been able to kind of limit production, so they're not really overloading these dealers with trucks. This is a smaller Chevy dealer, but even so, you've only got a few lines of trucks right there, and then these trucks that are behind me right there. So one thing that GM has said that they want to do is they're not going to sacrifice their margins for volume, and that means what they want to do is not produce and not overload these dealers with a lot of trucks so they can keep their prices high. Not good for the consumer, but good for their margins. I don't like that tactic. I would rather produce more consumers and give them a good product for a good price than trying to pad my bottom line. But they're a publicly traded company. They live and die quarter to quarter. And at the end of the day, they're there for their shareholders. They're not there for you. They're not there for their customers. All right, so walking through these trucks at this Chevy dealer, I actually see something that's pretty cheap, and I'm impressed that they have it on their lot. But if you look over there, let's go check it out, see what the price is on it. So this is the deluxe model IKEA shopping cart. What it comes with is your nice blue finish where the plastic is. This is solid. Look, listen to it. That's solid. That's what we need out of these OEMs. We need solid, and I can guarantee you there's not one recall on this. Another thing, it's 4-wheel drive. So if you want to purchase that cart, actually I don't think you have to. It's back here in this field. Just come pick it up. And what's potentially the biggest headwind that GM is about to face is their union contract. It is actually coming due this September. And you know what? When they're going into negotiations, if they're showing these good numbers, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to negotiate with their union saying, hey, we're not doing as great, we're not selling as many vehicles, times are tough. And then the union is going to be like, you know what? We see the earnings numbers, they're public. You're saying how great you're doing, how good the demand is for these trucks. So you know what? We need some more money. We need some better working conditions. And all of that costs GM way more money. And the better their numbers are, the more expensive that contract is going to become. All right, here is a Chevy 2500. I think this is the only one at this dealership that I actually see, but we'll check the price on it. $65,780 for the MSRP, and total price after your add-ons, it looks like about $4,000 plus worth of add-ons. It's $69,815, and this is a 2023 Silverado 2500 crew cab custom 4-wheel drive. I did say there was only one 2500, but here's another one. This one's $60,000 after your add-ons. MSRP is 55 grand, and then $5,000 worth of junk. So after GM released their earnings, Phil LeBeau from CNBC, I'm a big fan, actually got to talk to Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, to ask a few questions. And the first question that he led with was that, okay, so the stock sold off after this big earnings beat. Do you think it's because investors see that, hey, there's hard times ahead and you're announcing that you have to do cost cuts and stuff like that? Also talked a little bit about EVs, but she avoided the first two parts of that question completely because she didn't want to talk about the cost cuts. She didn't want to talk about hard times coming up. That's not something investors want to hear, and she knows this, and she's a CEO, and this is how she has to really operate. I would prefer transparency if I am an investor in a company like that, but this is the way that the game's played. But she avoided these first two topics and just talked about the number of EVs that they're able to push out. But it's just interesting to me that the questions of what's going on right now, the slow times of what's going on right now, the cost cutting of what's going on right now is not a topic that she wants to really address. And I wish Phil LeBeau would have kind of leaned into that to a little more, maybe ask the question again in a different way to say, hey, what's going on? Why are we cost cutting when earnings are so good? Why are we cost cutting when it seems like demand and what you're saying demand is so strong? We shouldn't be doing that, right? All right, so this is their SUV storage lot, I guess, and these vehicles are filthy because there's construction going on right next to it. But this is a 2023 Blazer Premium front-wheel drive. The MSRP on this is $44,000, and you've got all your add-ons right there. And the total price of this Blazer here is $48,000. So one of the big problems that they did run across in this quarter is that they had a massive amount of money go out because of recalls on the Chevy Bolt. So that's something that they're going to have to deal with in the foreseeable future, because it's probably, as we've seen over these vehicles that have been made over the last 2 or 3 years, because of maybe rush production, that recalls are stacking up right now, and they're going to get worse, and they're going to cost these OEMs a lot more money just because of maybe some corner cutting whenever they were going through this process of trying to get vehicles out as quickly as possible. So that's one big headwind that GM, not only GM, but Ford and Stellantis is going to have to deal with in the upcoming quarters and the upcoming years. All right. So this is what I want to find. Tahoe. Let's see what we got here. This is a 2023 Tahoe. It's 2-wheel drive. Premier model. MSRP on this is $76,000, $76,800. No, numbers are hard. $76,800 is the MSRP, and then you have dealer add-ons. So your total price is $79,489. Nailed it that time. That's what you're paying. I've already forgot the what, $80-something thousand? No, 79. You heard what it was. You know what it is. Tahoe, expensive. All right, so another big problem for GM right now is China. China is a very big problem. They are a huge slice of the pie when it comes to vehicle sales, especially EVs. So what's going on in China right now, as we know, the economy is not recovering as quickly as the rest of the world. So that's going to put a damper on the pricing that a lot of these OEMs can get. Number two is that there are a ton of domestic OEMs in China, Chinese-made vehicles. And what's going on right now is there's a pricing war going on, especially for EVs, in China. So that's going to really dampen what GM wants to do, because if they want to sell vehicles in China, they have to be competitively priced. So that means they have to lower their prices in China to be able to actually sell anything. And these China brands, they're making it really tough. There is an all-out pricing war that's going on for vehicles in China right now. And this is actually, of all the trucks that we've seen, this is the only Colorado that I've seen on either the lot over there or the storage lot. So the MSRP on this is $39,000. You got your add-ons, so it's $43,858. This is a 2023 Colorado four-wheel drive Trail Boss truck. Actually, I like the look of these. I don't know how good they actually are. Somebody put it in the comments if they're actually good trucks or not, but it looks good. All right, so this is not a video about Ram, but check this out. That whole row of white trucks, this is a Chevy dealership. All Ram, they're probably owned by the same franchise. They probably have a Ram dealer too. But Ram trucks, my goodness. All right. Ram trucks. One more row. Ram trucks. Oh, but we're not finished yet. And Ram trucks. Oh, I didn't even see this other row over here. There you go. Another row of Ram trucks. But just to show you how deep this actually is. Crazy. And you got some Chargers.